Hi, Sean. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
I'll move to my usual Wakefield meetings background, so.
Very
Ah,
all right. Well, since you and I constitute quorum, I'll call the meeting to order at 7:30.
great. Is Andrea Harkness public participation then?
I would assume so. Andrea, hello.
All right, well, maybe we should.
Andrea,
start
we can't hear you. Are you joining us, and did you have something you wanted to share? Well, okay, maybe we can come back to that if Andrea.
Sure.
So I think next on the agenda is approval of the minutes.
Okay. And I have that in my email, so.
I don't know this is the first time we've had to do an approval of minutes. Do you have to make the motion to approve because I'm the one who wrote them, or?
I think I have to make the motion because you as chair are not allowed.
I'm not allowed to make a motion.
But I don't know how this works with.
Well, then, Sean, it's all on you.
I move to approve the minutes. I second my own motion, and
do I not get to second a motion?
I think you maybe get to second it. I don't know.
Okay, well,
it's been a long time since I've looked at Robert's rules, and
we need a third committee member.
That'll be on our agenda for next month to appoint a subcommittee.
Whether you second it or I second it, I guess we will vote all in. Oh, well, no, I guess we have to roll call vote. Sean? I'm a yes as well. So the minutes are approved. I'll write that in my notes. Minutes approved. I'll check back in with Andrea. Andrea, are you here for public participation?
I am. I'm so sorry. I was thinking, what's wrong with my speakers? But I had my headphones plugged in and they were laying on the table. And then I'm just like, oh, I have to put the earplugs in.
So, I've done that too, as recently as last week.
I just was like, oh my God, it's broken. And then I was like, no, I just have to put the earplugs in. So I did that. Now I can hear you. I could see you talking, but I couldn't hear you. Now I can hear you.
Great. If you could, tell us who you are and where you are, and then please tell us what you'd like to participate.
I am in my kitchen in Wakefield, and I am coming to this because I am taking a class at Bristol Community College. And so one of the things I'm exploring is sustainability in my community. And I thought I'd start with joining the subcommittee's meetings this week.
Oh,
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. So glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Glad to be here.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the class, or is there like a focus that you're working on?
Sure. It is a class in green buildings, and there is a certificate in green buildings, which may still be available at Bristol Community College. I'm sort of moving from one certificate to another as I explore changing careers. And my primary interest is in land use and in the idea of affordable housing and what Wakefield is doing for that. So that's where my main focus is going to be. But I decided that one of my other interests is the possibility of becoming a sustainability manager in a town as a future career goal. Mm-hmm. So then it seemed to me I could just join in and learn about how sustainability committees work. And so then I thought I'd join your committee. I'd see what your committee was up to tonight. So yeah, and my professor is very encouraging and excited that I've got this opportunity.
Wonderful.
Great.
That's great.
Well, good to meet you, Andrea. We are still trying to figure out what this, how to function as subcommittees, because, you know, the Environmental Sustainability Committee as a whole is only maybe 9-10 people, depending on how you count ex officio folks. So,
Yep.
and we just started meeting with in these subcommittees and trying to do it right and meet the open meetings rules. So, so this is probably a bit informal, but I hope you can also join the larger Environmental Sustainability Committee meeting.
Yeah, and that's this Thursday, is that right?
I think it is the following. No, it's in a few weeks. Isn't it?
They had said the second Thursday of every month.
Yeah, it was it was the 9th. So the second Thursday will be the 13th of October.
Right. So we're still
Of
a few weeks out.
October.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because
All right.
this was a
So you already
early
met.
double Thursday. Yeah, so with the larger meeting already met.
Okay, great.
Yeah, but each of the subcommittees has meetings or many of them over the course of the month. So,
Okay, great.
and I think you're very welcome to drop in on any of them at any time.
Yeah, I'll be at tomorrow night's meeting.
Great.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. As will I.
Oh, great.
And so this subcommittee specifically, and this is only our second meeting, having just recently formed as a subcommittee. This subcommittee is focused on community education. So we're trying to find ways to get the word out about the different sustainability opportunities in the town, how to raise awareness, you know, if there is something coming up in the town that we need folks to, you know, vote on or participate in, or, you know, be enthusiastic about, sign up for. We want to make sure that we have good ways of getting folks to know about those things, and that they can, you know the opportunities. So that's what this committee is chiefly focused on. So
Great.
Yeah.
You will occasionally be hearing my cat in the background voicing his support of sustainability.
Perfect.
So I'm
And
going to just leave it on.
I think one of my cats heard your cat even through my headphones, because I had to get
Okay.
up in my lap to see what's going on.
What
Yeah,
a beautiful
mine
cat.
are on the other side of that door, but they may come in at some point.
Okay,
This is a cat people subcommittee currently.
great.
Yes.
All right, so I think the next item on our agenda, I suppose I could share our agenda, although I don't know if that's particularly useful to have up on the screen for very long. But the next couple of things that we wanted to talk through, there was sort of 3 discussion topics for this week. One next is to review the posts that we've done so far this month and the Facebook engagement so far. Next was to look at the anything that we gleaned from our meeting with Jen last week about other ways of getting communication out there. And then third, to discuss materials for the upcoming couple of tabling events, the Farmers Market, Town Day, and New Residents 101. So let's start with the Facebook posts and engagement. So first, I'll share for just a second the page of post topics that we've been doing. So at last meeting, we made a goal of doing 8 to 10 posts in the month of September. Or I think we're at 8 already for the month of September, and we still have a week and a smidge left. So the posts that we've done so far, I've been tracking here. And then I'll look at them. We'll look at them on the Facebook page to see the likes and shares and stuff. And then I have a few more teed up for the rest of the month. Robin informed me that the 22nd is World Car Free Day. So I was going to make a post about that. And this one, I was actually new tactic, because I didn't have a link to share in this one. In this one, I'm going to ask people to speak up and tell us about how they commute or are car free. And then I was going to do a reminder about the hazardous waste. I'm trying to like sprinkle in things that are timely. There's, something going on. So I think we had discovered last meeting that there's October 1st is the hazardous waste collection. So I was going to do a reminder for that on the 25th. And then a last minute reminder on the 29th about both that and our farmers market. And then on the 1st itself, do an early morning, come see us at the farmers market. So those are the next few that I've got teed up. and haven't started yet filling out the month of October, but I'll start in on that as people are bringing ideas forward. So those were the post plans.
Those look great. Yeah. And
Really?
and then we had additional ones shared with us yesterday too.
The
Or
two,
those are the two you've added those in already. So
yeah, yes.
yeah, I didn't get to spend much time with the email we received.
From you, the one about the different high school events. That
Right. So there was that, but there was yeah, so also right, yeah, Robin had sent the said something about Myra having a created a calendar,
yes.
right? So I think there might be even more lurking in Myra's calendar, but I don't know if you received that.
Yes, I haven't reached out to Myra yet for the calendar.
All right, so it seems like crowdsourcing ideas for things to send out over social media is not the problem.
Yeah, I think finding things to post about is not the problem yet.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the content looks great, and thanks for having done all the work of writing that first set, and and just like, yeah, I don't know, I guess October will be upon us soon. Do we want to go a month at a time? Do we want to just try to stay a few weeks ahead of the game? What's the right way to do this so that it's...
Well, what I found this time is that right after our last meeting, I sat down and filled out the page of, you know, here are 10 or so to sprinkle across the month of September, and most of them were not timely at all, right? They were not tied to any specific day or event, other than the ones about the farmers market and the waste collection. And then over the course of the month, a few new things jumped in that were more timely or interesting, and I took other stuff and bumped them down to the bottom of the list. So I think, you know, I think it's fine to sort of put a few things out over the month of October and just know that some of them will be flexible and we'll move them if more time-bound items come up.
Okay.
Certainly if things come up, like the meetings about the high school or other observation days, awareness days, you know, would certainly rather post those than, you know, a reminder to sign up for Black Earth compost again. Like there are some I feel we can recycle. I will, you know, I can post about joining Black Earth compost every 2 or 3 months probably.
Right. Yeah, and I was just thinking in terms of, you know, because you know, my understanding of what we can and can't do, we can't have like a shared document online where we're adding things. But I think we could send out one email a month, maybe right before, after the big, the full group meeting, just saying, if anyone has any specific ideas, send them along to our, and then we can just populate. Yeah, it's just, we're not allowed to work jointly on a document because then that becomes deliberation, right? Which again, none of this is leading to a motion, it's just for communication. So I'm not sure that that's a real constraint or not. So I'm wondering if we could have a shared document.
Actually, that's a really good point. If it's just for communication and not, who's the expert we get to ask Robert's Rules questions?
Well, that wouldn't be a Robert's Rules thing so much as just like open meeting.
Yeah.
So I guess we'd have to ask the town lawyer or yeah, it'd be so. But yeah, let's, because if it's not leading to a motion and can't lead to a motion, then it's not really private deliberation. So and I'm wondering if we could even further cover our backsides by having a motion at the ESC that we have a repository for where the committee members can work on the communications. And you know, if it's this type of, as long as it's read only, as long as people aren't going in there and like, you know, graffitiing up our document, I don't see why it couldn't be a publicly accessible document anyway, right?
Absolutely.
Anyone could look at it. What's, you know, not like we're, you know, it's not like we're embargoing our really hot takes on things, right? You know, it's okay if somebody gets a sneak peek. So yeah, we should.
Right, if they can
ask,
see ahead of time what we're going to post next Thursday, it's not. Yeah, there's no harm.
So maybe we can go and ask, because that would make our lives easy. And I was also
significantly
from the point of view of being more distributed than you being the committee chair,
Yeah.
and therefore having to do this every month. Like that way, anyone else could maybe just throw in some things or help rearrange with that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Because
Let's,
at some point too, you're going to want to go out of town and offline, and you're going to want to say, ask somebody else to post a few
Totally.
of the social media posts. So,
yes.
uh,
And then the other, well, so I guess before we jump into the like lessons from Jen, I'll just open up. So one thing that Jen did tell me about is this Meta Business Suite where we can see, I'm gonna get our faces out of the way, where we can see the engagement of the posts. So let's see, I started this exercise on September 1st. And so this shows us the, I wish there was a way, hold on, collapse that so we can actually see it a little bit better. The reach, the engagements, the reactions. What's engagement? Reactions.
so something,
here. So
something
okay.
passive, and then is reach just read or could have read?
I think it's could have read.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Who saw it
can't
at
see
least
that.
once.
Okay. Oh, well, that's good.
Oh, hold on. There's more if I scroll down.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Okay. Yeah. So I think this one
So the
about
ones
the
that got
boxes
shared to the larger group,
yeah,
that makes a
Yeah.
big difference. Okay.
huge difference. Yep.
And it's not just the reach, it leads to, okay, so we need to keep doing that.
Yes. And so this one that I just did last night, got 6 shares and made it out to, is there a way, can I see? I'm not very familiar with this, so I don't know what I'm going to click on and where it's going to take me. I'd like to know where it got shared if possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing I can see here. Wakefield Farmers Market, Town of Wakefield. Is that who shared it or where they shared it?
I suspect it's who shared it.
Okay.
Oh, that's good though.
Cool.
And I hadn't shared that one to the community groups. Can we share to the community groups as the ESC? That was the big technical question, because that,
I think, well, I don't know. I think we are not prohibited from doing that by like the rules of the town's communication, but I don't know if we can as
so yeah,
like, can you share your own post places?
yeah, because that'd be,
Right.
and I'm wondering if we would need to, is there a way for, so when you're looking at the Wakefield at the Sustainability Committee site, is there a way for that page?
That's what I'm on right now.
To
Yeah.
join other groups? Is there a way to join a group as the page rather than as you? Because that to me is probably what we need, because I know that the community groups are closed. So
I don't think it can join a group.
See about the three dots, if there's a thing there.
I don't know what just happened. Oh, hold on.
Oh, that's
You've
groups.
joined. Oh, groups you've joined.
But is that you as a individual, or is that?
Well, I'm in the Wakefield ESC account, so I think.
So let's see if we can share our own post.
Let's do it. Okay, so let me go back and find my post, because I think the one I shared was this one. Oh, for Pete's sake, what is it doing?
So yeah, the right below there. Yeah.
So well, hold on. Before we do that, I know I shared one of them to the Wakefield group, and I don't know which one it was. I think it was the leaves one, but so that I don't share the same thing twice.
Oh, I see.
Get people mad at me.
Well, yeah, I'm just curious if it shows up then as being shared from the ESC, because if it does, then that's what we want.
Okay, yeah. So the one Tiana shared a post about leaves.
Okay.
From
to the community page or the community
got a whole
group?
3 reactions on the community group. Okay, so that
okay. And which one was that's the community group or the community page?
Oh, that was the Wakefield community group, the one with 14,000 members and the background that looks just like your background.
Okay.
Okay, so I will try sharing this one about recycling this stuff. I will try to share it to a group. This one. Oh, I see what you're saying. These are both groups.
Yeah, there's a community group and the community page, but yeah, so, okay, so this one you're sharing to the group.
Would you like me to say anything in particular?
I think you can just share it without comment.
Right, if
Right,
I share it
because
without comment, will the comment with the text show up?
It should. Scroll down,
Too late.
but I think it, yeah, all right. And then I will go on and see. So that was to the community group.
Correct.
No, sorry, that was to the. That
was to the for Pete's sake, I have no idea.
Wakefield Community Group, because there's also a Wakefield MA Community Group, which has 5, but this is the big one. Okay, so now I'm on there, and most newest activity. No, new posts. Okay, I don't see it yet, but that might be because there's a delay. I don't remember.
Well, I guess I can go to it from this page also, can't I?
There it is.
There it is. Look at that. And yes, okay, so the text that I had shared is there.
Okay, so so I think there's a better way to do it than us doing it as individuals.
Yeah.
Because I think it just has a better cachet.
Yep.
As you know, it's obvious why the Wakefield ESC is posting that. It's not necessarily obvious why Tiana or Sean would be posting.
Right.
Oh, that's all. That's really reassuring to see that the ones that did get shared did actually reach a fair number of people. That's
yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Okay. So
cool. All right. Well, so we'll keep it up. We'll see. And, you know, over time, I expect we'll like build up some understanding of, you know, what days or times of day get good, you know, better reach, and what types of content get better reach. So we will keep learning on that.
I have a, I think we should stick with this speed for now, but, I'm originally from a small town in upstate New York, Kinderhook, and there's a brilliant Instagram page on social media that's like just meant to like kind of promote the town in general, and it's a little edgy, but fun. And I'm just wondering, like, after we get the content in this, I'm wondering when we're established if we can also, without being overly political or you know, poking at, I'm wondering if we can get a little bit edgier, a little bit more, and I, you know, at some future meeting I can share some of the things that I think work, you know, for that, you know, more of a meme format than this, but this is great, and I think let's establish this, keep establishing this beachhead. This is
if we, you know, I think that based on the way the algorithms work, people are only going to see it if we're actually keeping up some, you know, cadence of posts and stuff like that. And
we're already doing much better than, you know, one post every 4 months or whatever we were doing last year.
And it's not a ton of effort to do it. So,
Tiana, well, how many have you averaged a week? 2 a week?
Probably closer to 3 a week. I think I've done, pretty close to 3 a week these last few weeks. So
that's really great.
Thank you. It's going pretty well. So at some point we might run out of things to say, but for right now, I think we're doing pretty well.
We're not going to run out of things to say. We're just we're gonna end up in the middle of some nasty social media flame war, and then we're gonna. Then it'll feel less good, but I guess we'll just have to learn how to ignore those when they come up.
So shall we talk about some of the stuff from Jen from the meeting?
Although I took a quick glance at the meeting notes, and nothing in there scared me, and a few things were easier than I feared, so it sounded like it was a good meeting.
So some of the stuff that, you know, so I asked a bunch of questions, sort of poking at the rules of how, because she had said, don't, Andrea, Jen McDonald is the Director of Communications for the town of Wakefield. So
Thank
she's
you.
the one who blessed me with the access to our Facebook account.
Okay.
So she had given us some rules around, everything we write is public record. And as Sean alluded to earlier about shared documents, we can't get into deliberations on something that will get a vote on a Facebook thread, for instance.
Got it.
And we can't delete stuff. So if someone, if we write, please recycle your cardboard boxes, and someone writes something mean about recycling, we can't get rid of that. We can get rid of it if it's a threat.
Okay.
But we can't just like take down stuff that we disagree with. So so I asked her some questions to sort of poke a little further at the rules around, we cannot promote someone's product. We can't say, this is the best compostable plates to use at your next party. We can say, use compostable plates. We can say, compost with Black Earth, because they're a town, like we have a town arrangement with them. And we can say, this one was a little bit surprising to me. I've been wanting to promote that, if you've got snack wrappers, the Subaru dealership has a TerraCycle box in their wait for your car to be ready room. Bring them all your snack wrappers. I get my car serviced there every so many months. And every time I go, I bring a big bag of snack wrappers and dump them in the box. And we can say that is available. We can't say, well, you're at it by a Subaru. But we can say that is available as a place to recycle. Likewise, I think Melissa found out that Lowe's takes back the little cheapo plastic plant pots that your plants come in when you buy them from the garden center. Like they'll take those back.
Great.
I'm gonna call and confirm before I post that one. But so like we can promote this place has an ability to recycle this thing, take them there, which is good, because I thought that was out of the bounds of what we could post.
I'm glad to hear that about Lowe's, because I've got about 100 of those in my
I do
garage.
too. I do too. Well, I think during the pandemic, some places stopped taking things like that back. But it seems like maybe that's available now, but I will confirm that one before sharing it. We also, not just we can tag folks in our posts, but we should. Like if there is if there is an organization doing something where we're tagging, like we can tag other people and other parts of the town if we want to in our posts, and that might help with reach. She suggested the Boys and Girls Club often likes and reshares things. We can share things in a larger group. Anyone can, doesn't matter. And we can say, thus and such sustainability topic is up for discussion or up for a vote at the next town meeting. Come and participate. What we can't do is in that discussion get into oh, well, I'm going to vote for it. Yes, me too. I think it's a great idea. Like we can't as committee members get into that. So that's fine. Okay, I think those are all of the Facebook specific things.
So if somebody is obscene in a response to one of your posts, you can't delete the obscenities?
I'm not sure exactly where the line is, but Jen specifically said that we can't get rid of something just because we don't like it, that like by their First Amendment rights, they can say mean things about whatever they want.
Yeah.
They just can't like threaten us or other members of the community.
I see. So there's no PG-13 rating or something like that.
That was my impression is there is not.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah. So
I know so little about Facebook. I'm learning as we go. So
yeah. So far we haven't gotten that kind of engagement on any of our posts.
Phew. Yeah.
But if we start to get a little edgier in the way we post things, we sure might. Or if we post things that are more controversial than we're collecting your pouch for recycling.
Snack pouches, right? Yeah.
if we're sharing something to one of the community groups, because I suspect that's more likely where you are going to get heated comments than just among the followers of the sustainability committee page.
Yep.
Even if we can't do that, I think the group moderators can. Because they're not operating as
A town.
an arm of the town government,
Mhm.
right? So that's where there might be some, you know, an out for, you know, as long as we're not removing those things.
Mhm.
Um,
Sure, that's
they
fair.
will, and if things get flagged, it gets flagged to them if it's on a comment, if it's a comment on something shared to their group.
Got it.
So,
That's a good point.
and they take down nastiness all the time, right? You know, so.
Cool.
And then
Good.
people get upset at them for taking down things, and then
Right,
so-
right.
Sure, yeah.
All
We
right.
can
well,
reply, like if someone put something in the comments, we can reply to it, answer questions,
Mhm.
or thank them for appreciating our you know, whatever.
Yeah.
We don't have to totally not engage. We just have to be careful with
Right.
how.
Okay.
On other non-Facebook communication, so we did talk about, you know, do we do Instagram also? Would we want to do TikTok? We can totally do Instagram. Honestly, let's get our sea legs with Facebook first, and then maybe consider branching out. I asked her about TikTok sort of as a lark, but we'll see when we get student member hopefully soon what they share with us about the right ways to communicate with that generation. But Jen said that we cannot use TikTok probably because it is not archived by the archival service that archives our Facebook and Instagram, etc. type communications. So
Okay.
So that's that. But she thought it was a great idea to get a student involved and have them help figure out how to communicate things. We absolutely can, and I think should, do an email list, like collect email addresses as just another way of getting stuff out to folks.
And then use it for the same messages.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe not all of them. You know, we might want to make that a little bit more sparing, or even digest. I could imagine maybe we send things a little less frequently that have a few, related topics, but certainly for things that are timely, you know, events and get out the vote kind of things, that there's no problem with doing that. But it sounded like we should send it from the official ESC email address, the one that Melissa can send from, so that it is archived in the official archival public record things. So I think that's worth doing, at least for that type of event-based, you know, important announcement stuff, because not everyone's on Facebook. So I think we should figure out a way to start collecting email addresses. We could do something fancy like sorry, I was hearing my kid shout from upstairs. God, I can't find my squirrel. That squirrel you can't find. Like we could do something like a constant contact MailChimp kind of service, but I'm not sure that that's worthwhile at this point. So maybe we just want a spreadsheet of email addresses.
Yeah, and we're going to have a sign up at the at some of these tabling events that we have coming up. So yeah, we could also a cheaper way than like MailChimp or anything like that. I just don't know if what town requirements is, you know, listserv software. Tufts has listserv software, and I could administer that. And I know there are ways of making the archives public.
Okay.
So that would meet the town's archival needs,
Okay.
or if that would not be allowed since it's.
Good question. Do you want to email Jen and ask?
I'm happy to email Jen. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure I have her email address. If you could
I can send it.
forward that to me.
Yeah.
Are there groups that may already have email addresses you could use?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, like the BB Library, for example, I'm on a list for them because I became a friend. And so I don't know if they would share their list with us, share their list with you.
Probably not, but I would guess that if we asked them really nicely, maybe they would send out in one of their communications a way to sign up for our list.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they would share with us because I know other NGOs I've been on the board of, that's treated as, there's not a lot of things that people get proprietary about, but that's one of the things. But also I think that if we started sending things regularly to a whole list or taking out all the, then all we need is one person who didn't want to receive those to get grumpy and make whoever shared the list with us regret it. So yeah. So whereas I think that sharing with them, saying, are you interested in these topics? Reach out to blah blah blah. I will gladly ask Jen about the e-list stuff, because that allows us to add people easily, but also then people can subscribe themselves if they find. So we could put that out there. We could have a QR code where people add themselves or whatever else. So that's what those e-list servers allow you to do. Cool. But it might not be allowed since I'm still not clear on. Okay.
Other things from Jen, and then we can move on to because that I think connects the QR code and collecting email addresses connects to the tabling topics. Just to wrap up the Jen stuff, she said she's happy to send things out anytime we want in that town news email blast that she does. That's more for events and like big announcements. So we wouldn't want to do that at quite the cadence we're doing our Facebook posts, but we can certainly use that if there's something big and important or like a new opportunity, to recycle something that was not recyclable before. And then there are posters. She can put posters in those kiosks or electronic messages on. There's some electronic poster boards at town hall, and I think she said the senior center. So if we had this, an event going on where, putting up flyers would be useful, we can do some of those through her. Wow.
Great. Do we need to get the format information for what they want for those posters? Did she have like a height and width aspect that they normally use for an electronic?
It sounded like most of the physical posters that go into kiosks are a portrait 8.5 by 11, and that when she gets one of those, she herself usually just landscapes or like stretches it to fit the poster, the electronic version. So she sounded pretty flexible about it.
All right.
So if we have such a thing, we should remember that that's an opportunity. I think we'll probably not do that quite as often. And then I spoke with her about the official, like our official page in here. Let me share my screen. So inside here under boards and committees is our environmental sustainability committee page, which has as such illustrious content as our agendas and our meeting time. But it does have the feed of all of the stuff that we've posted, which is kind of fun. But then it has a few sort of linked sub pages. The area that I thought, because I've been thinking like I would love to build us out a page with more content, more tips and where to go to recycle stuff. So I think we should collect some additional content to put here. This is a pretty weak sauce set of tips. So she said, anytime we have any additional content, we can just send it her way. We can make it as complex as we want. We can add as much content. So I think it's worth like a project of collect a bunch of stuff that we want to put on here from, waste reduction, land use, all the different groups, and have this be like the one-stop shop where we have all of the useful content that people ought to know. She gave a good example. Let's see, which was it? Commission on Disabilities. She said they have a very long, very good detailed list of resources and services. So she used that as, it was long enough that they broke out and did the back to top, like link jump tos. So took that as some inspiration, but I might start sort of collecting the sorts of content we would want to put on such a page.
Great.
But not urgent, but I thought that might be a good thing for us to do. And then, so I think that was it for the Jen stuff. Anything else? Any other questions on that? She's also seems very available, so I think we're welcome to ask her questions anytime. So then we want to talk about the upcoming events. So we've got the farmers market a week from Saturday, Town Day a week later, and Wakefield New Resident 101 about a month from now. So those are all opportunities to engage with the public. Certainly it would be great at any of those to have a QR code to somewhere where we can collect email addresses, whether that's your e-lists thing or just a QR code to a Google form that's just email address. So I guess let's figure out if we can do your e-list, and if not, just takes 5 minutes to make a simple Google form to just collect them in a spreadsheet.
But we can also just have a sheet of paper. People just rather leave an email address. Is there a problem with that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I just know that people have terrible handwriting, and when they write their name on a piece of, or their email address on a piece of paper, we probably lose 20% to legibility. But yeah, we should absolutely have a paper sheet.
I don't know this, will you have a like a table and a presence, or will the committee have a table and a presence?
Right, the larger committee will have a table and a presence at each of those 3 events. And we can bring whatever materials or signs or content we want. I plan to be at least the first 2, but I don't think I'm signed up for the first shift of the first. We should like have our materials ready to hand over to Melissa or whoever has first shift.
Kiana, are you second shift at the
I think I'm second
for shift at the farmers market, or?
Yeah, I did. I think I signed up for the second shift at the farmers market, and I don't remember which shift of the Town Day.
All right. I'm pretty sure I'm second shift for the farmers market as well. So I'll see you there.
Cool. And then I thought we should at least have, I don't know, something showing that we have Facebook, like that could also be a QR code. But some like, follow our page on Facebook.
Yeah.
I think we're trying to get away from having like handouts, since giving away a whole lot of paper is not very sustainable. Hence the interest in QR codes, or just, people leaving their name on a piece of paper. Are there other things that we want to communicate at the farmers market?
I don't know that we need to or should do a whole lot more on that, because I know that the larger committee's already got a full set of
Mhm.
things that the posters and stuff. So I don't know that we want to be overcrowding it.
Yep.
I think the most important thing, but there's more something for the larger committee, is if people say they want to get engaged, we need to have a list of ways that people can be involved other than just liking our page. So, really collecting the volunteer information, I think is the most important thing. So
Totally agree. And I think that's on Dan's plate.
Yeah, I think Dan's got that well in hand. So I just feel like as long as that's there, then, and there's some content, which I know we already had a discussion, then I don't think we need to go with lots and lots of stuff, because especially at the farmer's market where, we want a minute or two of people's time. We don't want to we don't expect them to sit and read.
Yeah, one thing I thought might be interesting is just if there is content people are looking to learn. Like, are there topics related to sustainability that they want to know more about? Because then we can do more posts about that or find more information about that to put somewhere.
That could be also, so that could be done at the farmer's market or some of these, but that could also be a good engagement invitation post on Facebook. Like, what do you think the most pressing sustainability needs are? What do you think we need to know more about in town? And invite people to comment, and then take the best from those back to the committee and say, hey, let's, here's some neat ideas. So I think that dialogue could happen there as well as, I mean, it could also be a little box where people leave ideas or, suggestions.
Yeah. And I think Melissa had wanted to do something like a leave ideas box more generally about sustainability at the farmers market and town day events. So I guess maybe it's just, if any of those are educational in nature, I want to know more about this thing, that we'll snag those to our agenda.
So it might be good to have your list of Facebook postings that you've made available. Would that be something useful as a reference? So that people could then say, oh, you're interested in, recycling snack boxes or snack paper. You could go, it looks like we have a post for that. So maybe it could be a reason to call up the Facebook if you already you have a sheet that says this is what's there.
Right. Yeah.
Did we land anywhere on having iPads or anything at the
don't know
table?
I'd certainly be happy to. Oh, but my laptop won't have any useful internet when I'm.
So we need, and I mean, on the second shift I could hotspot to my phone. On the first shift we need somebody who's willing and able to hotspot. And then we could just have the page up there.
Yeah, that'd be easy enough to just have a laptop or iPad open with that. Okay.
But again, if people have the QR code, then they can also go to their
on whatever
they can look on their device, because most people have something available. So well,
so the piece, I think, of those 3 events, I think the one that I'm actually most interested in preparing more for is the new Resident 101, because I feel like that's an area where, for instance, on that Town of Wakefield page, that programs and tips or whatever it was, if we build out more content there pointing people to how do you sign up for Black Earth, how do you, where do you bring your cardboard, just like links to things, including a lot of the same stuff we've been posting, that might be, then, if we come to the Wakefield New Residents 101 with that and say, if you have any sustainability related questions, go here and you'll probably find your answer.
I mean, I think, again, that since we're tabling as a large committee, that can be a discussion with the larger committee, but that's where you're going to find people are actually motivated, not just, you're going to get higher uptake with new residents who might say, oh, yes, I'm already in a mode of signing up for services. This is a service I want to sign up for. This is something I want to do, or I'm actively remodeling my home. I'm more open to certain tips than when you're just trying to buy a loaf of bread. So I think that, and that might actually be one place where we might even want to have, in a limited way, a few takeaway sheets for people who don't do QR codes or other things, just because there's going to be a higher level of motivation. We should avoid too much waste, but yeah, I can't go to that event, unfortunately, because that's a weekday event, right? And that was a day I couldn't go.
Yeah, I think it's like a Thursday evening. I am uncertain if I can go, but even if we can't, you know, if we make a sheet and, you know, have info on that page, we can arm whoever is going. So I think that does put a little bit of time. That gives us a month to get that page up to date.
Yeah, which is about right, because
so I can, you know, sometime in the next couple of weeks, take a stab at what additional content I think ought to go up there, and can share that with you for feedback or updates. Again, if by the same token of, can we have a shared document, if not for a motion,
yeah,
then maybe we can actually have a shared document.
All right. We can also maybe ask that question at the larger committee meeting when we give our subcommittee report, because that's something that
a lot of folks who want to contribute. Yeah, absolutely.
They'd want to contribute, and also somebody on that call might already know the answer. So Julie or somebody.
Cool.
All right.
Anything else?
No. Are we at the end of this agenda?
Yes, I think the remaining topic is our next meeting.
Oh, okay. So
which October 17 or 24. I think I made that an or because maybe I had a conflict with one of those.
Calendars out. The 17th or the 24th. Both are equally good or bad for me. So if you have a preference.
I think I would prefer then the 24th.
All right.
Although that puts us just after the new resident thing. So
then we don't have time to discuss it.
Yeah.
Well, either whatever works for you is fine by me.
I mean, we would probably want the content pretty much settled before the 17th anyway.
Yeah, so we'll have
the event on the 20th. So maybe that'll have to just be async.
Okay. Yep. All right. So the 24th at 7:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell me the date of the new Residence 101?
Yeah, that's the 20th.
Thank you.
And where is that? I don't even know.
Good question. I have a vague feeling that it's at the Civic Center, the AmeriCall. But I'm not willing to guarantee that on this call at this moment.
All right. When I try to search for it in Google, I find Julie posting about it on Twitter 4 years ago. So I don't know that.
I think it was in the minutes for the larger committee meeting.
Okay.
Robin sent it out. I think it's at the AmeriCall because I recall seeing it and thinking that word's misspelled, and then remembering that it is in fact called the AmeriCall, not American. Yeah. Okay. I think our last thing was: are there any matters not anticipated on the agenda?
No, other than thanking Andrea for joining us and sticking with
so much
us for the whole meeting. So,
and will you be promoting on the Facebook the farmers that you'll be at the farmers market, at the town day, and at the Residence 101?
Sure will.
Great. That's a good thing.
And
yeah.
And oh, sorry.
No, please go.
Tiana, just when we're looking at our schedule of future announcements, I know that from the land use group, the subcommittee that I'm on, that like there's this conservation committee has got this open space committee process and everything, and those meetings are going to be happening, I think, 1 a month for 5 months after that. That committee is going to be appointed tomorrow, because they were soliciting for. I double checked to make sure I didn't have to apply, and that that I guess I'll be on ex officio as a member from this or whatever, but
Got it. Yep.
or maybe that's not ex officio, just by default. But so we'll want to probably advertise that, because I'm not sure how much that's getting at, but because that's directly sustainability relevant work.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think we can be very open to highlighting any of the other town committees meetings and work, but those are obviously going to be relevant.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I'm still surprised by how hard it is to sometimes, like, I didn't know until a few weeks ago they can go and sign up for all those alerts from all the different committees, and I think that most people don't do that. So
yeah, we could promote that too.
Yeah, that's true.
Generally, that you can sign up for
That's
for
true.
these things. Yeah, when you, I mean, any of them that you know of, like when a meeting is, just email me and I could throw it up on the Facebook.
I went a little crazy with signing up for the meeting announcements when I learned how to do it. So it's like,
you know what? I'll be honest
7
with you,
years.
I did too when I first learned about it, and then I went and redid it and signed up for fewer, because I found that I was getting just a few too many of those announcements of meetings.
And they're annoying because they're like a sentence and you have to click through to actually get any of the details. And I just wish they would put the details in the email. So
I agree. I share your sentiments on that.
All right.
Okay. I think that's it.
Great.
Can I say one last thing?
Please.
I'm very excited to know that you're going to tell me that Home Depot recycles CFLs. You know that.
I don't know if I knew that one specifically. That's great.
It really is. You were mentioning the other one, and so I work as an energy auditor. So I take light bulbs from people's homes and recycle them, and you can put mercury thermostats and CFL bulbs into a plastic bag and then into a dispenser at the Home Depot. And so that's just like a terrific thing from my perspective. So
Awesome.
In that list of things you're creating.
Perfect.
So.
Yep, I just added it to the list.
And I want to thank you both. If people like you are a part of the sustainability committee, then I feel really good about Wakefield's efforts. And if you were a part of bringing Black Earth compost, all I can do is just applaud and laud you heartily.
Well, I sure wasn't part of bringing it. I signed up and I'm loving it. I've promoted it to all the neighbors on my street.
There you go. Okay.
But that was something that some of our colleagues who've been on the committee for longer did.
Wonderful. Yes. It's just wonderful. And so thank you very much. This has been I was not, I have to say, looking forward to this meeting or didn't know what to look forward to. And I enjoyed myself thoroughly. It was
I'm so glad that you joined us, and please feel free to join us anytime. We're putting out calls for volunteers to participate in a variety of things. So as you're figuring out how you want to engage with sustainability in Wakefield, we'd certainly love to have you participate in any parts of it.
I will be volunteering.
Awesome.
So I will definitely be, I hope, seeing more of you both.
Wonderful.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Take care.
Thanks.
Have a good
John,
evening.
I think you need to motion to adjourn.
Oh, yes. Motion to adjourn.
Approved. I think All right. Thank you both so much.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.